fun. I mean it. It's not a joke. Okay, I'm going to read some poems, and we'll see how it goes as far as time is concerned. This one's called Time Zones. When the character is one to whom something inevitably happens, we know we're in one of the western cities, pawing heavily at exhaust smoke. From above, one no longer craves tugs of grass doormats on bare feet. The doorbell was invented by a brontosaurus, most likely, or by some such cold-blooded beast with descendants out in the weeds, turning inexplicably north. A declarative tone is adopted when what is meant by the lights are quoting the ghosts is embellishment, a pattern of shimmering scales still over frost. What comes across instead is a vague indication of limits, a not your body. A man wants to take a woman for a walk, but only to buy time until the line at the grocery store in her neighborhood is shorter. Glue is a common method for arranging that skyline within this window frame's dust, but a rising airplane ruins the pose and becomes the focus of how dark is made out of known mediums that can carry sleep talk of frost on the handrail of an ocean liner into different time zones, insurgent wrinkles in the narrative of violence. This is called The Body Reclines. The body reclines in sun to quiver over lost notebooks under the seat of a stranger whistling north on the train past empty hospitals. The vines are nursing back to a communion with the dirt as songs boomerang through the frame's blues and greens to touch my impalpable face, gasping in gallery white, clogged as a road through a marsh. There are desires there, falling sliced by streetlights that pull the morning down from a shelf and fill an afternoon with this humming. It's called Termite Minutes. Planet Earth's bathroom steam passes this mirror, and my shape hides a humid season and a headache moving through the tops of all the branches, while each minute works like a termite on frequencies no one can hear as they swarm down the avenue, drunk and orphaned by an old habitat collapsing through barcodes of the heart, hearing left and right the moaning of the windowsills. A better passage. I'm not a tourist arguing with weather patterns on the boardwalk where rain writes against a better passage for airplanes moving away from my hunger towards rooms you inhabit in lamplight by another coast where leaves fall to the earth for cheap and the cash registers under the floor chew on the silence after the last departure's coordinates shift like the radar of a feeling spread thin across the ocean. This one's from my thesis, which I just turned in today.
Woo!
It's exciting. And, okay.
It's a
Clouds.
great way of showing excitement.
Oh. I noticed that. Clouds to believe in. A radio tower emits red mosquitoes like static in the young ear, and this morning is a breadcrumb rolling on a windowsill across the courtyard. The wind through the screen plucks an ocean with this landscape's blistered finger stumbling into the room at the top of this particular hill, where the high sun splinters through trees like threads of a straitjacket, and all the clouds we believe in. So we have two more, both of which are, all of them from now on are going to be from the thesis. Yes. Dressing rooms. Across the night park, a branch falls like a name tag from someone's sweater. The gray light will bring back pieces of a horizon's shell if we wait by highway sunshine. Every voice but your own mumbles through spaces the pine needles open for our radios to sing through. Highest fine for littering, a structure of knowing, easy by pictures. Where will we go? Roman columns chose fluorescence to wear into dressing rooms the AM smoke obscures, like a poem about fog, or its memory rising up from a beer can. This is called On the Beach, and it makes use of repetition, hopefully not gratuitously, but we'll see. On the beach. There was a beach house, I remember, and it was near the beach on an isle made only of sand. A forest of tall shrubs on the isle and no real trees, the soil not supportive of that kind of growth. I was walking around at night on a road without any shoes on, and cars were passing, headlights, no faces. There was a beach somewhere off through the shrubs in front and behind the beach house. I became obsessed with every day and felt my way into water like a blind person surprised when it touches. I went to work every day after touching the ocean, sliding onto the beach and sometimes getting into the water until the waves touched my neck. Washing dishes, there was little I could say to the waitresses coming in calling orders out to the chef, who threatened to cut my head off if I didn't work faster, and hadn't I ever had a job, which I hadn't really. In the morning I woke up once on a concrete floor which was paved over where the sand used to be, the sand not a kind of soil that could support tall trees, so there weren't many, or hardly any. The steam around my hands holding white plates was like the white foam on the beach when the jumbo jets flew overhead, and the Navy jets followed, close behind them, and everyone waved a flag, thought about death. Someone opened a beer can on a towel as the howl moved out to sea, and talk of tides and tides resumed. After work, some friends and I chased the guy through every street, vowing to beat him up if we caught him, but he disappeared in some tall shrubs where during the hot days foxes rustled the leaves. There was a road along the beach lined in sand where the wind came in off the ocean. I became sometimes when it touches at night laughing about 10,000 miles and off yonder a quilt of parking lots towards home. He would cut my head off, but on the breaks he read Zen and smoked cigarettes in a sunny doorway by a parking lot, itching his shins when the sand flew in. In a parking lot I sat on a couch and watched the sunrise, speaking of the blisters on my hands while the ocean we couldn't see from where we were watching the sunrise came closer to listen or overflowed with fish falling open-mouthed onto the beach.